everybody. Welcome out to the Locker Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, October the 3rd, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you. And with me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hey, everyone. Just having my soft taco. Soft taco.
You're eating
National Soft Taco Day.
Happy National Soft Shell Taco Day.
I've never said shell, just soft taco.
No, it came. I typed it, so what the hell? You know.
Rim diff.
There you go. I mean, they kind of mean the same thing.
They mean the same thing.
Yeah. Not two separate things. It's just less words. So how are you on this fine evening, sir?
Needing something to wash that down with. It's a little spicy.
A little spicy.
I should have realized.
I have to apologize if my voice goes hoarse here and there throughout the show. It's still recovering from last night.
The game that you need the beer after because your favorite National League football team sucks.
Well, I use that term favorite loosely right now. Okay. Overall favorite, yes, I bleed blue, but right now I'm not too much in love with that team. All right.
They made you blue.
Okay. It made me and a lot of people blue.
And red in the face.
Not that I want to turn this into a sports podcast, but I'll say two things. One, two takeaways from last night's game that aren't specific game related. All right, because there's plenty of takeaways I can give you for that, but I'm not going to get into it on this show. But those two takeaways are: one, I can't stand what MetLife Stadium has become. For almost every single team that comes in to play the Giants, there is almost as many fans that come in as well. They don't sell out anymore. It's not, and I don't care if every single seat is owned by whoever for the PSLs and season ticket holders and everything else. The tickets don't, all of the Giant fans do not go to the stadium. There was almost as many Seahawks fans in that damn stadium last night as were Giants fans. Wow. And that's pathetic because it's not the Cowboys, it's not the Eagles, it's not the Redskins, it's not even the Patriots.
Or the Steelers.
It's the Seahawks. Seahawks. Okay, that's number one. And number two, and this is a funnier one. At one point in the middle of the first quarter, they had a TV timeout for commercial for Monday Night Football.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
And they showed a Taylor Swift commercial on the Jumbotrons. The entire stadium, Giants fans and Seahawks fans alike, booed the hell out of that commercial. Okay, so it was in fact the loudest booing there was all night because it was all of the fans booing.
Rather than just those dressed in blue and red and white.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, I guess people have they're tired of Taylor. But
enough. This is football. Go away. Have your romance. Get married. Have 90 kids. I don't give a crap.
No, John, you don't understand. I really think the woman only dates for writing material.
Well, pretty much.
So that because everyone said we can't wait now for the break up with Kelsey song. Mm-hmm. See how that one goes.
Right. Exactly.
No, it's sad. I think that's the only reason she dates.
I believe that, but you know what? It's not even her. It's the media. It's okay. The other night, and I'll stop this now. This is the last thing I'll say. The Jets Chiefs game the other night when she was there at MetLife. All right, Sunday night. They cut away 3,000 times to her. Okay, who gives a shit? I'm watching the football game. Taylor Swift's there. I get it. But I don't need to see her 90 times to know she's still there. Okay.
Was her boyfriend's team playing? Is that why she was there?
Right. No. Right. She was there because the Jets were playing the Chiefs. Okay. So, but here's the other thing that even goes a little bit, it's even more crazier than that. In the booth with her, in the suite with her, was Ryan Reynolds and his wife, Blake Lively, and Hugh Jackman was in the booth too.
No, I like them better.
Okay. All right. Not once at all in any report during the game or after did they even say those names. It was just Taylor Swift. No,
I really don't mind when they put the camera on.
The only reason you knew either of them were there is a couple of times when they cut away to her, you saw them in the back corner. That was it.
Tell you, one of my favorite cutaways to a celebrity is at Ranger games.
Yeah.
Sophie Turner.
Okay.
Now, granted, she's divorcing one of the Jonas brothers. I can't remember which one. But he's always sitting next to her, but they never put the camera on him. It's always on her. Right. Now,
didn't Taylor Swift date a Jonas Brother too at some point?
It was very possible.
Yeah.
But the reason they always put the camera on her is because it's tradition in the garden that if the camera goes on you and you have a drink, you finish the thing. Sophie would do it every time.
There you go. And
so it was a crowd favorite. And I really think the cameraman always waited until they gave her a full glass of wine. And once she had the full glass of wine, boom,
that's
camera on her. Boom.
On her, done. That's good. See, that's good. I like that.
She endeared herself to the fans with that. You know, you honor the fans' traditions.
Look, I'm not going to say.
Oh, and she wasn't in a booth.
She was in the stand.
She was
right.
She was she was about 4 rows from the ice.
Yeah, and usually in New York, the only time you see that, I mean, you see it with some bigger, really big celebrities. Well, I mean, clearly Taylor Swift at this point is one of them.
Right.
Whatever. But whatchamacallit?
A couple of old men right now.
But
it's just the popularity that's getting into it.
I get it. It's
He's a talented songwriter.
But look, if they cut away, they show at the beginning of, hey, Taylor Swift's here, and then maybe once or twice. Look, they do it all the time, right? Like there's a Titans game. What's his face? The quarterback. Really? Hello.
Geez, you're the big football fan.
Yeah, no. That used to play for the Dolphins or whatever. It's Ryan, right? Ryan
Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill, yeah. His wife is gorgeous. And whenever she's in the stands, they cut away to her. She's eye candy, right? Whatever. But they do it once or twice. They don't do it every time they take a TV timeout, they cut away to Taylor Swift.
And hopefully the referees don't do what was done in the one, was it the Alabama quarterbacks? Girlfriend was a model, and the announcer, and he hasn't announced since this game, just wouldn't stop talking about what an attractive woman she was. And it really got quite creepy.
It was a little creepy, yeah.
Who was that?
I know what you're talking about. I forget, but it was a little creepy.
Oh, I forget his name. I can see him. I just can't remember his name. That was really, really creepy how much he was commenting on her looks.
Silly.
Anyway.
But yeah, no, that's just it. You cut away once or twice, that's fine. They were cutting away to end this here. They were cutting away every single commercial break. They cut away to Taylor Swift. And every time the Chiefs scored, they cut away to Taylor Swift. Not Eddie Reed to see how well the coach.
Not any of the teammates.
None of the teammates. Taylor Swift. Let's see what she thinks. But whatever. I really, really honestly think that these two are not dating. That this is 100% a publicity stunt. That's it.
It was Brett Musburger who got fired.
Yes, Brett Musburger, yeah.
For that. And that was AJ McCarron's girlfriend. But at any rate.
All right. Back to what are we here for? Beer. That's right.
You mean beer?
Beer, yes. What are you drinking first?
I'm drinking Carton's Drip. This is my new favorite IPA, as I was told.
I'm telling Boat.
No, favorite IPA, not beer.
No, that's true.
But it's not an IPA. And the thing is, the owner of the brewery told me that this had to be my new favorite IPA.
It had to be your new favorite IPA? And what's the owner's first name?
His name is Augie. I bet a dog named that earlier.
Did you?
Yeah. Where was that? Oh, yeah. I'll get to that story.
Yes.
The story is related to my shirt and my little quote there. Interesting. So this has got Trident Galaxy and Mosaic hops in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I almost said his name again. I won't.
You know what it pairs best with?
Sunshine.
Jersey Swagger.
.org.
Yeah, I like that. 7% alcohol. I gave you 7.8, right? I didn't have my glasses on when I read
You gave me 7.8, yeah.
That's 7%.
Yeah, 7%. Oh, we can change that. Hold on.
We have the technology. We have the money. The technology. Okay. We can rebuild it.
Yeah, how's that? Is that better?
Yeah, it works.
Right.
I don't know if you need a 0.0 there, but that's fine.
Well, the point was already there, so I just changed the digit.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking, and I guess I don't know whether I'm.
This is the first time I can't remember the last time you weren't wearing a Coastal Brewer shirt on the show.
Well, I'm wearing a hat. I didn't have one on. I didn't have one on today. I had office work to do today. I had to run to the bank. Had a bunch of phone calls, so I actually didn't have any garb on today. I did have the cap on, so there was that. I didn't have this shirt on all day. I actually had a.
He's walking around bare chested.
I was walking around all day long. Yeah. Well, at the beach, is what it is. Warm today. I am, but I figured I'd wear the shirt because I'm having this beer first, and it is from Bird's Mouth Beer, their Oktoberfest.
Oh, how is that Oktoberfest?
It is very tasty.
I imagine it is. They kind of know what they're doing up there.
Yeah, and
down there,
and to make it better that I'm not wearing a Coastal Brewery shirt, you
put it in improper glassware.
I put it in improper glassware. Yeah.
See, I used
it's only a 12-ounce can.
Proper glass.
Yes, I know, but I wasn't about to get out, a bigger, Oktoberfest beer mug and then have to drink 2 of them and the whole thing.
Oh, that'd be awful for you. That'd be really awful for you having to drink 2 12-ounce Oktoberfest in Bird's Mouth.
This beer's very good, though. Cheers, Andy and Rocco. Very good.
Yes, they do good stuff there. It's been a while since I've been there, but now that summer's over, I can get there without having to worry about traffic too much.
Mm-hmm. This is true. And I have to worry about traffic to get there.
Yeah.
So. Less than you, but
less than me. You don't have to worry about Benny Hill.
No, I do not have to worry about Benny Hill.
So those of you who are not in Jersey who are wondering what the hell we're talking about, shore traffic from northern Jersey, Philadelphia, New York, anything outside that area, getting into the Jersey Shore is hellacious on a Friday and a Saturday, and then going home on the Sunday.
Now this is from early to mid-May through late September, early October.
Right. It's dying down now, so it's good.
It's all right now.
And if you come from the north, you go over something called the what is the
Driscoll Bridge?
Driscoll Bridge. The Driscoll Bridge has got a nice arc to it, and the people that come to the area are referred to as Bennies, and it's a derogatory term, but it stands for Bergen, Essex, Newark, New York.
There's a couple of theories to that.
That's the one I.
One theory is Bergen, Essex, Newark, and New York, but Newark is in Essex. So Bergen, Essex, Newark, New York. The other theory is Bayonne, Elizabeth, Newark, and New York.
That might make more sense. They tried to spin it once and say that Benny was short for benefactor of the area, and everyone in Jersey just went, no, fuck off. That's your idea. We use it as a derogatory term. Don't try to spin it on us because
we just lost half of our viewership. I got a feeling they're from North Jersey.
No, because you know what the North Jersey. And the thing is now, no, I'm a Benny.
You are Benny.
I'm a Benny. I did, and. So John and I talk about growing up in Taylor Ham and growing up in Pork Roll, and I grew up in Pork Roll and moved to Taylor Ham. John grew up in Taylor Ham, moved to Pork Roll. Mm-hmm. Benny, non-Benny is also the same thing. John grew up as a Benny, and now he lives at the beach. I grew up near the shore, very close to the shore, and now I'm a Benny.
Exactly.
So, but at any rate, so that bridge, the Driscoll Bridge, and the fact that people are Bennies and clog that bridge on the way up and on the way back, it was dubbed Benny Hill.
Yeah, there you go. And it's not because there was a larger, really funny, witted Englishman standing on the top of the bridge.
No,
it is because I know. I got to watch one. I got to watch an episode. It's never on.
Benny Hill.
Yeah, you're gonna have to pull it up on YouTube or.
I like Passing Wind.
Really,
okay.
But my favorite one of Benny Hill was, he's in a bar and he's sitting there by himself at a table and he has a beer in his hand and he goes 21 today, and he takes a sip of it and he finishes it and he puts it down. And a woman comes over and says, "Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, great. I'm so happy for you. Let me buy you another beer. Give him a beer on me. Thank you." And she walks away and he gets the beer and he goes, 22 today, 22 today.
My favorite of his was that song where they're dressed up as firemen. I've got a hose pipe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the filthier songs they ever did.
One quick thing that you remember, the Hills Angels.
Oh, yeah.
The girls, right? Frasier. The show Frasier.
Yeah.
Daphne.
Yeah.
Daphne, right?
Was she one of the Hills Angels?
She was the Hills Angels.
Nice.
Yeah, she was.
Very, very nice.
Mm-hmm. What's her name? Whatever her name is. I forget. Yeah. So, anyway. So we got some stuff to talk about. I'm almost half done with my first beer, and I'm only having 2 tonight. So let's get into it. What do you? Let's find out how was San Francisco? Oh, by the way,
Jane leaves. By the way,
Jane leaves. That's her name. Before we get to that, first of all, if you haven't guessed, tonight is just the 2 of us show.
Yep, either that or the guest has been waiting way too long. He's waiting too long.
He's like, I'm out of here. Goodbye. And I would like to say to Dave and to everybody out there, happy 150th show.
It's 150.
Yeah.
150.
This is our 150th show. Well, this is 150 if you don't count any special shows. We're into the 170s if you count the special shows. So.
We're special.
Actual studio, if you will, shows, not live on location, whatever. This is 150. So.
Very, very nice. Speaking of those special on location shows, we need to do a beer dinner again.
We do.
Because we just passed the anniversary of the one with Carton Brewing,
which was 2 years ago.
Just 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. So it's been 2 years since we've done one. We need to do another one. So.
We should do another one. Yeah, it was only 1 year into, a little over 1 year into doing the podcast.
Yeah,
when we did a beer dinner, and it's been 2 years since we've done one.
I think we need to do another one. We got to figure out which brewery we want to do one with. Mm-hmm. Maybe one in the Northwest, maybe one a little further south. And we'll see.
We can work on something. We'll put something together.
We'll see.
There's some other stuff going on too. We'll get to that. As everything confirms. You'll be you out there listening to the podcast or watching the podcast. No, well, not you. Well, you, yeah, but
I'm listening.
we'll
and I'm kind of out there.
We'll benefit to a point from it. You'll be excited to hear about the interesting things. So we'll bring that up then. Anyway, so let's get to San Francisco. Talk about your shirt, your trip last week.
And my local, sitting in the morning sun.
Yeah. So let's go.
We're gonna go to San Francisco.
I'll do it. Let's go.
I'll go back. Oh man, so did meet a dog named Augie. My first full day there because we went because
pointing out that's two.
Oh no, it wasn't the full name and it wasn't that person, so I don't think that one counts.
All right, maybe we'll get a little asterisk on that one
because this was a dog. Mm-hmm. Not saying the other one's any kind of looker or anything, but I know. But we went because Kerry had a conference there, so I was like, a hotel room squatter basically. So went there for that, paid for my own ticket, and so
pay for the flight and then just go.
So while she was in the conference, I'm like strolling around San Francisco doing over like 6 to 8 miles a day.
Lovely. Did you go up or down Lombard Street at all?
No. We're close to it, but there were certain things I wanted to do. We weren't there, long enough to do everything. Even though it was like 5 days.
I drove down it once. It's actually annoying to drive.
I'm sure it is. Probably not as fun as that tunnel switchback thing I did in Italy. That was
probably not.
Anyway, so my first day I walked out towards the southern terminus of the Golden Gate Bridge, which is Fort Point. I didn't make it all the way to Fort Point. I made it to Crissy Beach. Well, Crissy Beach is part of the Golden Gate National Park thing, and it was really kind of cool watching the sea lions. They're bobbing out in the water there, and the dogs on the beaches are going crazy. So they're just like sitting there taunting them. It's kind of funny. But on my way out there, the reason why I went out there in the first place, I start down Chestnut Avenue through the Marina District. And for those who've been listening to the show, that you probably know that I had reservations for a tour of Anchor. And 2 days later, Anchor closed.
Mm-hmm.
Not my fault.
Nope.
Stop blaming me. Stop writing me letters.
I'm going to keep blaming you.
But I'm walking down Chestnut in Marina, and there's a sign on the sidewalk that says, "We have Anchor Steam." So I immediately made a right into the doorway, sat down at the bar, got an Anchor Steam. So I'm like, I'm drinking Anchor Steam in San Francisco. This is really cool. It's a Horseshoe Tavern, by the way. Like, this is really cool. And that's where I met the dachshund.
And what was the dachshund's name again?
Augie. Augie Doggy. He was a little furrier than that. A little furrier. No, it was a long-haired dachshund. Or dachshund. Dachshund. But I finally realized as I was checking the beer in and sending the picture to John and others that I'm drinking an Anchor Steam in San Francisco, that it's 10 in the friggin' morning. It's like, gotta love that. I got
a picture. It's like 1 something, and I'm like, wait a minute.
Is it on 10? But the reason I went down Chestnut I didn't realize it was the main drag for the Marina District, and it is. There's a lot of cool restaurants and shops and stuff. They had an Italian deli that looked really good, a fromagerie. For those who don't speak French, that's a cheese shop. But they call it a fromagerie. And I'm not pronouncing it right. Fromagerie. And at the end of Chestnut, there's a gate into the Presidio. The Presidio is really kind of cool. And if you keep along that path and past, there's a Starbucks in the Presidio. It's a park, but it's also a business park. And you go past it, and I think it's like one more building you make a left.
What quantifies a business park?
There's businesses in the park.
Oh, okay.
A lot of businesses.
I thought it was like a park near businesses that business people go to eat lunch and
No. There are businesses in this park, and a lot of the businesses have to do with the film industry.
Okay.
And one of the film companies that is in the Presidio is Lucasfilms.
Okay.
And out in front of it is a fountain, and the top of the fountain is Yoda.
Okay.
And what's really cool is you can go into the lobby. Now, if you go into the lobby, they're going to ask you, "Can I help you?" And you say, "I'm just looking around." And they said, "Okay, but there are rules. There's certain directions you can't point your phone.
Mm-hmm.
You can't point your phone outside of the lobby, deeper into Lucasfilms.
Mm-hmm.
But any place else in the lobby, you can take pictures. They got a full-size Vader there. The droid from Rogue One, full size. All these little models and statuettes and everything, and it's really cool. If you're a Star Wars nerd like I am, and you go to San Francisco, you got to go to Lucasfilms.
Nice.
You got to go.
Was George there?
George was not there. He sent me his regrets.
Fair enough.
But but he made sure that I was brought inside and given a role in one of the next upcoming films. Mm-hmm. Which he promised me would turn into scraps on the cutting room floor.
Right.
George and I don't really get along too well. But at any rate, no, I'm kidding.
It's gonna be a craft beer version of the Mandalorian called the beer Mandalorian.
The beer Mandalorian. Yes.
So starring the beer samurai.
That'd be so much fun. Yeah. But as long as it's not the Book of Boba we got to redo the Book of Boba. That turned into too kumbaya, but this should not be turning into a Star Wars.
Yeah, program. It's not a Star Wars thing. Yeah, no.
But anyway, so after that,
he plays for the Toronto Blue Jays. Though, did you know that?
Boba Fett.
Oh, it's Boba Fett. Never mind. I'm sorry.
Boba Fett. wrong Boba. and his brother Boba T.
Yeah, exactly.
No. But on the way back, I hit for lunch this place.
San Francisco Brewing Company.
They are in Ghirardelli Square.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, for those of you who call it Ghirardelli, you're wrong. It's Ghirardelli. Mm-hmm. There's a sign on the wall that tells you how to pronounce it, but also it's Italian. You put an H after a G, it's a hard G. You put an H after a C, it becomes a hard C. Mm-hmm. It's unlike here where you put an H after a G, it becomes a soft G. It's the other way around. So it's Ghirardelli Square. And if you don't believe me, do you call it spaghetti? No, it's spaghetti.
Right.
There's a GH in there. So, right, but it's Ghirardelli Square, and yes, you can buy all kinds of chocolate there: hot chocolate, cold chocolate, solid chocolate, melted chocolate, chocolate sundaes.
You can buy solid chocolate in your pocket, and you'll get your own melted chocolate.
Yeah, there you go. Just leave it out. But the San Francisco Brewing Company is right in Ghirardelli Square, and John and I talked about this a little bit. When I sat down, I looked at all the taps. All the taps are plugged. I'm trying to figure out where the beer is coming from. So the bartender comes over.
A magical place.
Yeah, man. It's called the Bright Tank, Dave.
Yeah. Where's the beer come out?
But then I order something. The bartender comes over and he's pouring from taps that are like right at the bar, right where I'm sitting. I didn't realize I'm sitting at the service bar and they've got taps there, but the taps are like under the bar. So. But then it dawned on me because I got to talking to the bartender actually, because it's a full service bar. His name is Luis, by the way, and we talked. And John and I were talking about this: how sometimes your experience at a brewery, at a bar, can really depend upon where you sit. Right? You're going to get your beer tender, your bartender. If you're sitting at the service bar, while they're busy, they're going to talk to you at the service bar. Mm-hmm. and you can get to know them. Or ultimately, you could sit down at the other end of the bar, and someone sits near you, and now you've got your best friend for half an hour or whatever, right? So, but we had a great time there. The staff was fantastic, and also at the service bar, you get to see the staff interact with each other a lot.
Yep.
Right, because those who are serving outside or the tables, they're coming to the service bar. You can see them making fun of each other, as people tend to do in these places. And they had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with them as well. And I even went back on Saturday night, our last full day there, to see them and go see Luis. John, did you get the picture I sent you?
Yes, I did.
So here, you'll see Luis here.
This is Luis, right?
Luis. There he is.
There you go.
Oh, we had a lot of fun. We really had a lot of fun.
And he was your beer tender at the service bar, is what you're saying?
Yes. And you can see, if you look to the left of the picture, you will see the taps underneath the service bar.
Yep. See them right there.
That's where they are.
You got it. Anybody listening to the audio podcast, if you are so inclined to see this picture, we may post it on the Facebook page. It may very well be there. But if it's not, 26 minutes into the Facebook show, or YouTube, or Twitch, or Twitter, 26 minutes in, you can see the picture.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, they do some damn good beer there. They had a lot of their German styles on for Oktoberfest. Their Oktoberfest beer was actually really good. They made a really nice Imperial Porter. They aged it in rum barrels.
Very nice.
I don't think enough breweries age in rum barrels.
No, that's for certain they don't.
Right. Rum adds just a wonderful complexion, I think, to a beer.
I'm actually waiting on a stout from Martin House aged in rum barrels.
And see, you have Martin House. Martin House is always pushing the envelope, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Out of Texas. I think are they the ones that pioneered yogurt beer?
Yeah, they did. They did the pickle beer. They did the hot dog beer.
I think I drank
hot dog water. Yeah.
Didn't I drink the pickle beer on the show?
You did.
Yeah, I did. It's when I was in Plano, I picked up some of that. They really pushed the envelope. But I tell you, that's San Francisco. That was the first brewery I hit. It's definitely not the last brewery I hit.
No, I can imagine.
No, I hit Fort Point Brewing in the Ferry Building. The Ferry Building's really cool. It's like a food court inside.
Very nice.
And on Saturdays, they've got like a huge thing going on outside with it's a huge market, but there's all kinds of food stands. I bought this little coconut custard pie, John, that was to die for.
Nice.
Carrie got half a dozen chuck oysters from there. That were really good. But the
trick is to eat both of them and not throw up.
No, you're not going to eat those together.
Yeah.
You don't eat those together. And if you're watching on Thursday was International Lager Room Guys Day.
It was International Lager Room Guys Day, yes. And we did a quickie, 20-something minute?
12
minutes.
And I was at Bear Bottle at the Salesforce Park, which is a park that's elevated above the street. But it's also a transport hub as well. The buses coming in and out of there.
Yep.
So, but the roof is really cool. There's food vendors up there, coffee and beer.
Very nice.
And Bear Bottle was really
it looked pretty cool. If you wanted to see that, folks, you go to last Thursday's special podcast on Facebook, obviously, or YouTube, or again on Twitch or Twitter to see the video, and you can check out where Dave was on the rooftop there. It was pretty cool.
Oh, it's really, really cool there. Hit one more. Hit another brewery in San Fran itself, John.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I having trouble remembering it? It's right next to where
Senior Moment.
Yeah, it's right next to where the Warriors play.
Okay,
it's not the Warriors come out and play Warriors. It's the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah. Was it
it was
Steph Curry Brewing.
Oh, right. That'd be a good one.
Not so much.
It was what the. I've got a map up here, and I'll find it in.
He'll find it. Just give him a second. He'll definitely
0.13 seconds. I think I'll find it.
0.13 seconds. I mean that. Yeah,
there's the Chase Center Harmonic Brewing in Thrive City.
Harmonic Brewing in Thrive City.
So what we're doing is we're pre-gaming the big party at the conference throws. They rented out the whole freaking Chase Center. They had all the food vendors were open serving. You didn't pay; it was all on the company that it was for. And they were pouring beer. They were also, but this is one time I actually opted for wine, John.
Did you?
They were pouring Silver Oak.
Silver Oak's good.
Free of charge.
Very nice.
I may have drank 2 whole bottles myself.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, it's about right. It was, and which was a great punctuation to watching the Killers play.
It doesn't get a conference doesn't get much. Well, I mean, it can get better than that, realistically, but it usually doesn't get much better than that.
But I'll tell you, beer wise, the highlight of the trip was going out to Alameda Point.
Nice.
There are 3 breweries on Alameda Point.
And which one did you go to?
Well, the first one we went to was Faction.
Ah.
And we just happened to stumble into their 10-year anniversary party.
Well, there you go. I love when that happens.
Actually, we walked in, stumbled out of it.
Right.
So that was cool. They had some pretty good beers there. That place was really, really hip. Maybe a little too hip for me. But it was a really, really cool place. The old Naval Yard is there.
Sure.
And they're along there. The USS Hornet resides there as a museum now. Mm-hmm. But then after that, we went to Humble Sea Brewing.
Humble Sea, of course. Yeah, sure.
Oh, they do some good stuff.
I have a lager from Humble Sea coming.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
I may have had it while I was there.
You probably did.
But for me, the best brewery we hit, and many of your listeners, you've heard of this one, Almanac Brewing. Mm-hmm. Almanac, and they do sours. They do sours well. They've got like 3 different types of fooders, 3 different types of wood fooders. Mm-hmm. Got a little tour from the general manager there, which was nice. Mm-hmm. One of their tip buckets managed to get the Coastal Brew Works and the Beer Samurai stickers attached.
I did see that. Very nice. It was very nicely done.
So we've hit the west coast with the decals.
We are out west now. Yes.
So awesome. And so that was really good. I think that was probably the highlight of the beer while we're there.
Very nice, very nice. Now let me ask you: when you went to Alameda, did you take the Oakland Bay Bridge or did you swim?
Ferry.
Ferry. You took the ferry, so you didn't swim.
No. No. Took the ferry over. Took the ferry back.
I'm not a bad swimmer.
Yeah.
I'm not a bad swimmer. Sharks can swim faster than me.
I'm sure they can,
but I can run faster than sharks.
Yes, you can.
So in a triathlon, though, it depends on who's the better cyclist, right?
Yeah. That's probably a toss-up. And you laugh. In San Francisco Bay, there are sharks because that was one of the deterrents from people escaping from Alcatraz.
There you go.
And you think, okay, so there's sharks. They're fine. They're great whites. They are great white sharks in the San Francisco Bay. They've got a kind of they come in there to, I guess, mate and then move on because San Francisco go get some anchor steam. You can't anymore. Well, you still can. It was everywhere, John. It was everywhere you turn.
Sure.
There's a big stockpile of it right now.
That's great.
It's
did you bring back a few cases with you? Or,
No. There's only one thing I brought back.
Ah, very nice. Very nice.
A liter Stein.
Now, can you drink a liter of a sour from Almanac, though? I mean, that's pretty aggressive.
No, I drank their fest beer. No, I drank the Kolsch out of it.
That's pretty. That would be pretty pushing it. Drinking a liter of a sour. I would probably need about 2 bottles of Tums for the next day after that.
Oh my god! But no, their Kolsch was really damn good.
Good,
and so was their fest beer.
Very nice.
I gotta say. So I pulled this out because my second beer is it's a big can.
Oh, very nice. There you go.
We have Ranger Juice Force.
We have a comment here. We have a comment from who is this gentleman? Matt Patensky. The Farallone Islands, just offshore from San Francisco Bay, is a premier spot for white sharks.
Oh, like he knows anything about. Oh, wait a second. His Instagram handle is Shark8Matt with the number 8. He's an underwater photographer. You can see sharks in the background of that picture. Pop it back up there, John.
Sure.
You look over his right shoulder and you can see sharks back there.
They weren't swimming. They were posing for the picture.
Yeah.
He had turned around. Guys, taking a picture.
Yeah. He's like, hey, okay, Matt. Because he's friends with so many sharks. And that counts John. But
he has been to the Farallones.
And he has actually had some of his underwater photography of sharks posted as background images during Shark Week.
Sure.
So if you want to see some really great underwater photography, Shark8Matt on Instagram. And he also he likes to dabble in brewing too.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard rumblings.
Rumblings and grumblings. And bumbling and stumbling. And oh, no, we're back to
basketball. Not sports, and you'll not do that now. So let's talk about that beer. You just poured your second there.
So this is Voodoo Ranger Juice Force IPA. 9.5% alcohol.
So you got that one right. The other one was 7.0, not 7.0.
Yeah, no, I got this one right. And I'm going to have to do a picture of this one because I'm pretty certain I've never had this one.
Well, there you go.
It only half filled my liter.
Okay.
So I'll do that and check that in on the... John and I have both created check-ins on Untappd for our different studios. This is Locker Room Guy Studio North. John sits in Locker Room Guy Studio South. Unless you're French, then it's Nord and Sud.
Nord and Sud, yeah, exactly.
Oh my God. This is just... Here, smell this. You get all those tropical notes? Oh,
wow.
This smells like...
An IPA?
No. It smells like I wandered into a juice bar.
So it smells like perfume and glitter.
Not that kind of juice bar. There's a few states that will understand that joke. Not every state will get that.
If you know, you know.
Wow, this is all pineapple, mandarin orange. Oh, that's yummy.
Very nice.
And that does not taste like a 9.5. This is a dangerous damn beer.
There you go.
New Belgium's in. They've got a place in San Fran.
Is that 60 ounce can or 19.2?
This is I think it's a 19.2. Actually,
well, just measure it up against another 16 ounce can and you'll know that.
No.
Yeah, it's a 19.2.
19.2.
Yeah.
So New Belgium's in San Francisco. We did not make it there. So is 21st Amendment.
Yeah. New Belgium has a lot of locations now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, New Belgium's actually from Colorado.
Fort Collins, Colorado.
Right? Colorado, but they've got a location in San Francisco.
I was just at the one in February in Asheville.
Yes, they're in Asheville as well. We didn't make it there when we went. And 21st Amendment is actually not originally from San Francisco either. Where are they from?
Good question.
They
are now, but
I thought they were another Colorado.
Oh, no. 21st Amendment was those, yeah.
Were they always California?
I believe so, yeah. I'll double check now, but I think they always were, yeah. So here we go. Yeah, San Francisco.
Oh, they're San Francisco now. Are they originally from there?
I believe so. Yeah, San Francisco, South Park,
San Leandro, actually California.
Okay.
And the original location is a brew pub and restaurant in the South Park neighborhood of San Francisco.
Yeah. So they opened it. The brew pub first, and then they opened there, and then they're back in San Francisco.
That's their production.
Yada.
Okay.
All right, there you go. So
it smells like. Did you get Matt's comment?
I did not.
We're talking about it smells like a juice bar.
It smells like boob sweat and regret. Yes, absolutely.
No, I'm really enjoying the smell of this. It's like pineapple, a little bit of vanilla, pineapple, tangerine, and the flavor follows through, but lesser so because it's still an IPA. and it's not a milkshake IPA. You know what? This might be one of my. This might be my favorite iteration of Voodoo Ranger, John.
There you go. I'll have to get a can and try it.
That's yums.
Definitely have to do that.
And I like the fact that the patches on the pilot thing has actually got a volleyball.
Very nice.
The volleyball right there? I played volleyball
I did.
when I was younger and less fat.
Less fat.
Less fat.
So not fat, less fat.
Yes, that would be an accurate statement right there. What do you pour in there?
I am pouring a beer
Out of a bottle into a glass, and it looks like something dark, but not black. So it's not a stout. It's not a porter.
That is correct.
What do you think? It's either a brown, a barley wine, or an old ale.
Okay, it is not. I had an old ale last week. Would have had another old ale this week, but just had one last week. It is not a barley wine because I'm not going to drink 12 ounces of a barley wine myself right now on the show. I mean, I could, but it is. I will put it up here. One of my favorite brown ales for the seasonal brown ales harvest from
there you go.
Long Trail. All right, Vermont maple syrup brown ale.
That doesn't sound awful.
It's
and
not
what
awful.
is John's favorite adjunct in beer?
That would be
maple.
Maple. Very good.
The thing about maple, we've said it many times, maple, you don't do maple right, it's going to be an awful adjunct.
Mm-hmm.
You cook it too high a temperature, it's going to come out burnt and just complete awfulness.
Right.
How do they do with this one?
It's good. Spot on every year.
Yeah.
It's Long Trail. I mean, Long Trail makes, it kind of fits in, right? Like the double bag is a double bock, right? And their Long Trail Ale is an old beer.
Yeah.
So you can't go wrong with a lot of.
That's the thing. People pick up a Long Trail Ale. They think they're getting just standard ale or pale ale or something like that, and it's also a lot of people don't like it because they don't understand what the beer style is supposed to be.
Right. And they'll look through it and it's like an amber ale. Yeah, sure, it's an amber. I mean, it's a German amber ale, but it's
a little different.
Yeah.
And I found out, what is that? So the thing with Germany, I'm thinking of going to Germany in April. But so many towns in Germany are known for specific types of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Yeah, of course, you got Berlin with the Berliner Weiss,
mm-hmm.
Bamberg with the smoked beers, mm-hmm. right? A Rauch beer.
Mm-hmm.
Leipzig is Goses.
Mm-hmm.
Found out all beer is what? Stuttgart.
Mm-hmm.
I just found out that out recently that's what comes from there.
Mm-hmm.
Munich, of course, is the Rosstoberfest beers.
Right. And my box.
So,
which are basically, I mean, my box and Märzen's are very similar beers. So,
and Fledungen is known for what?
My ancestors.
And Matt just added the other one that I left out, but yeah, absolutely. He spelled Cologne.
Oh, Kolsch from you left out the G, but
if you're spelling it the French way, the German way is Koln.
Yes, you're right. Koln.
And that's why it's Kolsch. People are like, how did Kolsch get out of Cologne? It's just because it's Koln in Germany.
Right. All I know is that on my bottle in the bathroom in the medicine cabinet, there's a G in it.
But yeah, no. So I'm thinking Munich and Berlin, John, and Leipzig's between them. Yes. So maybe taking the train up, I'll stop there, and then maybe somehow or another try to figure out
you can go to Bamberg too. Bamberg's on that route as well.
It's only if you swing out west a little bit.
It's not that much of a swing out west.
I'm thinking maybe just like a day trip out of Munchen.
Okay.
Might be.
Yeah, but if you're going up to Berlin, is what you're saying?
Yeah, but the Berlin, if you go the straight 4.5 hour shot, goes through Leipzig.
Right.
If you want to go and shoot off out to the west in Bamberg, I'm not even sure it's the same train line.
Probably not.
So it's a little difficult to work that in. We could probably take, the problem is the train station at Leipzig is not that close to Eichschlenkerla. So dragging all of our luggage from the train station to there, I mean, hopefully there's, they got like a place for lockers or something where you can just put it there and just
I'm sure there'd be something. Yeah.
I have to check into that before I decided to do that, because if I'm going to Bamberg, I'm going to Eichschlenkerla.
Of course.
And I'm probably pronouncing it wrong.
Close enough.
Yes.
It worked. So anyway, all right, cool.
Now, I know while I was away, and Matt, thank you for filling in for me again. You guys did a show with John Ross. John Ross's second appearance on the program, I believe.
John Ross. It's Ross Brewing's second appearance on the show.
Right,
it's John Ross's first.
Yes, that's right. PJ represented them the first time
when he was still there. Yes, and he did.
And their head brewer at the time.
Yes, when he was there. Yes.
Oh no, I thought Matt was the head brewer.
No, that was afterwards for a brief day or two.
Long story.
Yeah, but in any event, I digress. So John was on the show last Tuesday. Good show. It was a really good show, actually. I had fun. Talked a lot.
And you had John on the show.
Got a big backstory. Got a big backstory from John about how long it took and what he did and how he got to where he is, and with Ross Brewing and everything. So it was pretty cool. Learned a little bit.
Oh, so you got the origin story.
You got the origin story, so that was good. But then the main not the only, but the main reason he came on was to promote his Oktoberfest celebration, which went on last Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And it was Rosstoberfest, he called it. Rosstoberfest. So on Friday, he had, I won't reiterate because anybody that listened to and or watched last week's show got all of this already. So he had bands on Friday night, and an appearance by Kevin Smith, because he did a couple of beers with
oh, really? That's
Kevin
cool.
Smith, yeah. Saturday was a beer fest. They did 12 collabs with 12 different breweries.
Any good ones?
Very good ones. I'll more on that in a minute. I'm just getting to it. And then Sunday was Beer Olympics.
Beer Olympics.
And on Saturday, like I said, they did that was Matt and I were involved. Coastal was involved. We did a collab with Ross. As you know, we have Nautical Twilight. There's
the
can right there.
It's a beautiful can.
And that's a coffee porter, right? We have a special blend of coffee in it, and it's called Nautical Twilight. And Ross has a Dunkel, dark German wheat beer, called Twilight Sky. Okay, so we decided.
I'm guessing there's a Nautical Twilight Sky coming in.
So we decided to put our coffee blend, which paired very well with it. Our coffee blend has. Throws other than coffee, throws a little chocolate and nuttiness, and that pairs very well with the banana in the Dunkel. So it was very nice.
Banana walnut pancakes,
exactly. And we called it Nautical Twilight Sky. Right.
Here we go.
And it was pretty damn tasty. I enjoyed it thoroughly, as did a lot of people that were there. So, but there were collabs from Fifth Hammer and Long Island
those
City.
guys.
Flagship Brewing in Staten Island, Ashton Brewing, 3 Threes, Twin Elephant, Twin Lights, Icarus, Carton. I've
heard of some of these.
I'm leaving out a few, but anyway, there was 12 collabs, and Source.
Nice.
There were a couple others, but they were all really good. They were all very well done. We had a blast. Man, I got there early, and probably have there we go. Stillwater was another one.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, actually, the only IPA at the
whoa, wait a second.
Oktoberfest.
They do a collab with Stillwater and it's an IPA.
All right.
That's a little odd. Because when I was in San Francisco, Kerry had a beer. It was a Stillwater collab, and it was a.
Oh, Hackensack was the other brewery, and that covers all of them. There you go. It was an IPA with Phantasm.
That's what it was. Okay. But she had a beer that was a collab. Which brewery did this? It was a collab with Stillwater, but it was a. As you would guess, a Saison IPA.
Okay.
that's what Stillwater's known for, their saisons. So I think it's really odd that what they did with them was the only IPA.
That's what they did. But yeah, everything was well received, and we had a blast. We had a good time. In fact, here's a shot of the whole crew that was there. There's all the breweries. Matt and I to the left there.
I recognize quite a few of those guys.
You got Ashton, Steve Ashton's in the back there. Icarus, Source, Jeremy from Source is there. 3 3s.
Jeremy,
Mike from Twin Lights back there. Flagship. Yep. It was a good day. It was a fun day. We were there. We got there, in the morning, and we didn't leave till probably 9:30. So it was nice. Fun. Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
and look whose tent's right next to them.
Yeah, who's that? That's interesting. Branding, as it were. So
yeah, I know some of those guys.
And it's a couple of those guys. Anyway, no, it was a fun day. It was a fun day. We had a good time, and they actually did. They did a homebrew competition. And they announced the winners on Sunday at the Beer Olympics, or after the Beer Olympics, or before on Sunday though. But yeah, we all judged, so that was fun. We had a good time doing that. Some good stuff, I gotta say. Some pretty tasty stuff. But in any event, yeah, it was fun. It was a blast. It was a success for them. They had fun. I'm sure he'll do it again. It was well done. Had an awesome. They had food there too. They had some vendors. They had vendors doing. They brought up bars from the Highlands, and they weren't doing seafood as you would think they were doing. Right? They were doing bratwursts, knockwursts, and pretzels.
There we go. So was the pickle there?
No, pickle was not there. But I had a bratwurst, which was shocker, right? I had a bratwurst. That's your surprise face, right?
That's a shocked face at 52 minutes. For those on the audio,
want to see the shocked face of Dave that I, Jersey Johnny, had a bratwurst.
Griller of brats.
Griller, yeah. But whatchamacallit? Matt had a knockwurst, and we split a pretzel. So there we go. It covered the gamut. When I say split a pretzel, the pretzel was this big. So we split a pretzel. Okay.
I've never been a huge...
Anybody listening to the audio podcast, one hand is by one shoulder, the other hand's by the other shoulder. That's how damn big this pretzel was.
Never been a huge fan of knockwurst.
Knockwurst is good. I enjoy knockwurst. I love brats more. And this, I got to tell you, this brat was fantastic.
To me, a knockwurst is just a big fat Oscar Mayer hot dog.
If it's made right, if it's made by a German butcher, and you're not getting it like a mass-produced knockwurst in the store and a package
it's not
from a German butcher. It's good. It's got different flavoring to it than any hot dog or anything else.
Because most of the knockwursts I've had are just like
Matt can comment.
Balonies.
Matt can speak to the knockwursts things. I did not have one of those, but the bratwurst was fantastic. But nice. They were also doing pizzas. They were having. I know a bunch of them were walking around with these hot honey pepperoni. Brick oven pizzas, so they were good. And we got a comment here. I'm assuming it's on the knockwurst, and he goes, "It's fairly close to kibasi in some ways." Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah. I can see if it's done well.
Similar spicing, but if it's done,
Mike. So Matt Potensky likes knockwurst because it's similar to kibasi.
Kibasi, right?
Okay.
Kielbasa.
So you said earlier they had pizza, but was it pizza or was it Flammkuchen?
Well, it would have been if they called it Flammkuchen, that would have worked. That would have worked
very
well.
We're both mispronounced. Flammkuchen.
Kuchen, yeah, right. But no, they called it pizza. So it was there.
Actually, where were we? I think it was in San Francisco. We passed a sign and it spelled pizza. Oh, no. It was Terminal C of Newark Airport, and they spelled pizza Pizze. Is that plural of pizza? I always thought pizza was the plural of itself.
It is. I don't know what that is.
What's pizza? Pizza.
Unless it was Pizzette.
That I get, but that does a different.
And maybe the TTE fell off. Is my point. So
it was a chalkboard.
Maybe it got erased.
The E was right next to the side of it.
Maybe they ran out of room because they ran out of room. I mean, we can go on all day with this. There are plenty of excuses for writing.
This reminds me of the what was it, the whole skit with the killer rabbit in Holy Grail.
Mm.
Ah, he must have died. Well, he wouldn't have written
Yeah, he wouldn't have, right. Exactly.
Anyway,
so anyway,
well,
but it was
like
fun.
Time.
Now it was fun time. It was fun time.
And what is it this weekend? That Oktoberfest from our friends at Bolero Snorts?
No, that was last weekend too.
Oh, that was last weekend as well.
That was the 30th. Yeah. It was supposed to be the weekend before,
but the weather
did not cooperate, so they switched.
No, so that's the whole thing. I go to San Francisco, and all of a sudden, God decides to drown the human race again in the Northeast. Mm-hmm. Can't blame him. I've met many of you people.
You are many of us people.
Yes. So again, can't blame them. Because we're watching the news and they're showing these floods and all that. And Carrie's like, where is that? I'm like, that's New York City.
Mm-hmm. Oh, crazy. Yeah, and Chris from Fifth Hammer was supposed to, he was planning on attending, but he was completely screwed with the flooding and everything else.
He's not that strong of a swimmer, huh?
He couldn't swim down to Port Monmouth.
Or was he too busy gathering animals 2 by 2?
I think that was a little of both.
I hear it was really bad here.
It was bad. For
like a day and a half.
Insane water. Neighbors of mine there was flooding all over Belmar. It's one of those times where I'm glad I don't have a basement. And any friends of mine that have basements, they had 2-3 inches of water in their basement. The water table was just that high. It came up.
If you're still listening, I got a question from Matt. Where's your favorite place to get your kielbasa?
Matt, where's your favorite place to get your kielbasa?
I've got mine.
Mm-hmm. I've got mine too. I've got a couple actually.
I've got one very, very, very specific place, and it's a town where you do not see Budweiser signs; you actually see Zivitz signs.
Zivitz. I almost had a Zivitz on the show tonight. I almost did.
Really? You got a Zivitz in your fridge, or did you almost grab one?
Oh no! I have one in the fridge. I bought it a couple weeks ago because I'm going to have it on the show soon. But it's not a 12-ounce bottle. It's a 16-ounce, 500 milliliter bottle.
Really?
But
wait a second. Is it the dark?
Which is?
I forget what it's called.
No, it's not a name. It's a specific style.
Yes, and I can't remember what it's called.
It's just called what the style is.
I know, and I can't remember what the style's called.
It's Baltic Porter.
Oh, just Baltic Porter. That's stupid simple. I thought that was...
Yeah, it wasn't a Polish style of beer. Matt may have signed off. Either that or he's typing a very long comment, which he may be doing. So
it's very possible. If he's 3 or 4 beers,
giving directions to the place that who to talk to, when to order. I mean, they're great directions. So
I've had that Zivitz Baltic Porter. Warning with that one, I think they understate the ABV a little.
Mm-hmm. It's in the 8s already, so that's why I was like, not tonight.
It's in the 8s.
This will be a night when I'm supposed to have 3 beers, but that'll be my second and third.
Yeah. So you said 16-ounce bottle, right?
16.9, 500 milliliter bottle.
Okay. Yeah. So, and I really think I think they've understated the ABV on it a little bit because that one bottle, it'll make you slur.
Yeah. So I actually was thinking, I'm actually considering, depending on how much I eat that day, because I do want to, soak it up, shall we say. Yeah. But I actually have 2 or 3 Baltic Porters. So maybe we'll do a Baltic Porter day.
We may, there is a day for Baltic Porter.
Well, if we find that out, maybe we'll do that.
When is it? So I'm Googling it.
Is there an old ale day?
It is January 21st.
I'll have to wait a little while, but we can do it. It'll last.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
I could go get another, but
speaking of that, we've got the pumpkin show coming up.
We do 2 weeks from tonight.
The day after that, we've not done this, John. I think we need to do this.
Okay.
The day after that, the 24th, is Cider Appreciation Day.
We should do a cider show.
And I really think we should do a cider show. Cider is... So many beer drinkers in the U.S. will look at cider and go, ugh. So you're basically just drinking a kid's drink that's become alcoholic. This means you've not had a French or a British cider.
Or some
some of the better ciders in the country,
or local craft ciders. Yeah.
So. And I may have to crack open the one that I bought in Montreal, because the one in Montreal is fantastic.
I actually just happened to be up at a couple of meetings up in Hackettstown, Mount Olive last Thursday, and on the way back down to 06, I stopped when I just got into Bedminster out of Chester.
I know where you're going.
I made that left-hand turn into Burnt Mills and picked up some. So, yeah, I have a few that we can have.
Got a few of those. There's a few. I mean, there has been some interesting ones that have come onto the market. There's your pear ciders like Ace, but Woodchuck for the longest time was my favorite. But then I started finding some of the more drier ones, and but let's save that conversation.
Save the conversation for it. We'll plan a cider show. We got 2 comments here, and they are both from Matt.
There we go.
Which one we call it? Here we go. Continental Homemade Provisions in East Brunswick.
Okay.
That is where
and then he gives you the tag.
And then the website, continentalhomemade.com.
Interesting. So I get mine at Adams Food Market in Wallington.
Yep. Well, Wallington.
Not a bad place to get your Polish.
Not a bad place to get Polish food. I mean,
no,
Wallington
it's basically
quite a Polish town. So.
It's Little Warsaw in New Jersey is what it is. If you're going to find, and I keep forgetting it, but Matt will remind me that the Polish mead. If you're going to find Polish beer, Polish mead, anything made in Poland, you're going to find it in Wallington. If you're going to find it anywhere,
yeah, we'll have it in Wallington.
Now Adams Food Market. I'll give you a couple hints here. If you're going to go get something for Easter, because babka on Easter is one of my favorite things. I love having babka. For me,
Bob who?
Ka.
All right.
For me, my holidays, I tend to celebrate different ethnicities that I've been born into.
Yeah.
For me, Easter is my Polish. I celebrate my Polish in that. So I like to have my babka. I like to have the kielbasa. I like to have my pierogies. I get the Polish. They're not pickles. I don't think they really call them pickles. They're cucumbers in brine. Get the glumpies.
You got to get glumpies, yeah.
Right, and all that, and that's how and a ham. Got to do the ham.
Got to do the ham. He said, "Do they have?" Go ahead.
Jadwiga Poltarek.
There you go.
No, it's Poltarek.
Poltarek.
I don't know. I've not checked. What they do have is.
Tell everybody what that is.
I wish I knew. I'm pretending. I'm taking it. Thanks for calling me out on that one. They don't.
I'm with you, and I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Matt. But there you go. Jimmy, get on that.
Well, no, he's reminding me of
that's the other show.
He's reminding me of the mead. But the Adams does not sell alcohol.
Oh, Jadwiga Poltarek is.
He's reminding me of the mead. That's what he was doing. They don't serve alcohol there, but I'm sure you can probably find that somewhere if you're going to find it anywhere in New Jersey, you're going to find it in Wallington. But the other thing that they do there that is one of my favorite things is it's basically Polish Slim Jims. I'm blanking on the name. Cabanosi. Oh, Cabanosi. I love.
I just went to the check-in on Untapped for Poltarek Jadwiga or Jadwiga Poltarek, and 2 friends of mine on Untapped have had it.
Probably being Matt,
and neither of them are Matt.
Really?
So Matt, you need to get on that and check into Jadwiga Poltarek, and then let us know how it is. It's got high ratings. It's got. I mean, the global rating is 4.09.
It's supposed to be one of the greatest meads on the planet.
There you go.
And I'm ashamed to call myself a Polak and not have ever had it.
There you go.
So I got to get to Wallington, find that. But I'll give.
I would check. He hasn't had it since like 2014, and he's only been on tap since 2015, I believe.
Okay, so if I find it, Matt, I will let you know. We'll share.
I would go in Wallington. I mean, there's a couple of good liquor stores, I'm sure.
Oh no, there's one very specific.
Yeah, I'm sure you will find it in a few of them in Wallington. Is my point.
Yeah, if you're gonna find it, that's where you're gonna find it. There was one specific that I wanted to try, but they weren't open when I was there last. I think it's King Liquor. No, it's not King Liquor. I forget. It's not coming up. At any rate, but the thing about Adams, if you're going to do Adams Food Market and you're getting your stuff for Easter, you're going to stand in a line.
Oh hell yeah! Anywhere you go, you're going to stand in a line. Sure.
Oh, but that one you're going way down the block, way down the block. They do the Polish pate too. If you're expecting a very refined pate that you're going to put on the soda crackers and all that, that's not how the Polacks do it. That's not the way. This is a rough pate. This is a punch you in the face pate. Oh, and you have to love it. I love it. It's
King Liquor. It's King Liquor.
It is King Liquor. Okay. But the pate they sell at the Polish places, like I said, it's rough, but damn, it's good.
Yeah, it's in the same. It's in the same strip as the DMV in Wallington.
That'll tell you something. They'll drive you to drink.
Yeah, well, this is true. So he just said it's made with raspberries, oak, hops, and spices, and 3 parts honey to 1 part water.
Wow.
Sweet, strong, super complex.
That's a high honey to water ratio. It's usually 2 to 1 water to honey, isn't it?
I believe so, but Matt can attest to that.
Yeah, I think it's usually water's a little. That is some hardy ass yeast to do 3 parts honey to 1 part water.
I know the brothers that made that yeast.
Yeah,
the hardy ass yeast. Never mind.
I see where you're going with there. They solved mysteries in the part.
They did.
And he's referring to the Hardy Boys. And then there's
is that Parker Stevenson?
That was Parker Stevenson in the TV show, not the author.
In the TV show, right? 3 to 1, 3 to 1 water to honey.
The Hanami. 2 to 1, 1 to 1, and 1 to 3.
It's 2 to 1, 1 to 1, and 1 to 3. There you
go. Okay, so he said there's 4 categories of Polish meads: 3 to 1, 2 to 1, 1 to 1, 1 to 3. Whereas American meads are typically, I believe, 1 to 2. So we'll let's see if he'll comment in on that.
He can comment on
how did this turn into a mead show?
I don't know. You brought it there. Actually, you mentioned it, asking Matt about.
You know what? Because knockwurst. That's where we got knockwurst being.
At the knockwurst. Yeah. Okay. And I didn't even go down the rabbit hole of telling you. By the way, great distillery in Louisville. Rabbit hole. But I didn't go down the rabbit hole of letting you know where I get my brats and anything else from.
Where's that, John?
There's a couple. My favorite for years when I lived in Fairlawn, Swiss Pork Store. Amazing food there. They make everything, smoke everything in-house.
Swiss Pork Store.
Making brats, making veal loaf, it's the type of store you walk in, like they'll take the fresh smoked veal loaf out of the smoker. And it hasn't even made it to the deli case yet. And they'll put it on the slicer and slice you a hot piece of veal loaf while you're standing there waiting for it. I'm like, oh.
Nothing better than a hot piece of meat.
Hot piece of veal loaf. You ever have a hot piece of veal loaf? No, but it's good. Not hot, just warmer.
This is like one time in Vegas.
There you go. But in any event, I digress. No, there and the German butcher shop down in Forked River is amazing as well.
Really? Okay, it's good to know. None of that anywhere near me.
There's a lot of other great places too, but those two.
Do you remember anything from up here?
Yeah, I just told you one in Fairlawn.
Oh, that's right. Fairlawn's kind of up here, isn't
Fairlawn's right up there. So
right up there.
I mean, you're in Wallington. You drive 5 minutes north. You're in Fairlawn.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
No, oh God, I've got to get the Abe's, Adams. That is,
Adams.
This is why I always confuse it. It's Adams Corner Market and Abe's Corner Bar.
There you go.
So I confuse them. Both are phenomenal in their own right.
Sure. Fair enough.
And anybody who's not been to Abe's Corner Bar,
go.
Oh God, I just blank on the name of the town.
Abe's Corner Bar.
Where is that, Johnny? It's in
Abe's Corner Bar, huh? Abe's.
But you get a mini pretzel with every beer.
Abe's Corner Bar in Brooklyn?
No. What am I thinking of?
Are you talking about Andy's Corner?
Andy's. God.
Andy's.
All these things begin with A's. Just try. So Andy's Corner Tavern.
Andy's Corner Pub is in Pagoda.
Pagoda. Adams Corner.
Or Bogota for you people from South America.
Bogota. Isn't that a capital in South America somewhere?
In Colombia.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pagoda. It's Pagoda.
Pagoda. No, it's something else. I'm not even going to go there.
No. Anyway, Andy's Corner Bar and Andy's Corner Pub in Pagoda is amazing. Go there if you're anywhere near Pagoda. Go to Andy's. If you're anywhere near Fairlawn, go to Swiss Pork Store. You're anywhere near Wellington, go to that's
Adams.
Yeah, Adams.
Too many A's.
And there you go. All right. Speaking of
something.
Speaking of bringing us back to beer, we got to do our top 3 list.
I haven't given it a freaking thought. It'll come out of this particular trip.
I'm sure it will. So, this week's because of Dave's trip last week, this week's top 3 that we decided to do with just
and it's not this beer.
No, it can't be that beer because it's top 3 favorite Bay Area beers.
Which Bay are we talking about?
Bay Area beers. We are talking about the Barnegat Bay.
In which case,
no, it's not. I mean, Raritan Bay. Top 3 favorite Raritan
Bay. There we go.
Bay. There you go, boat. There you go.
What about the Bay of Biscay?
Biscayne Bay.
Biscayne. There's
there you go.
The Bay of Bengal.
Bay of Pigs. That was something else.
Disaster.
San Francisco Bay. All right.
Sitting by
San
the dock
Francisco Bay.
Sitting in the morning sun.
Anyway.
Sitting till the evening comes.
You're singing Sitting by the Dock of the Bay. I'm singing Ride, Captain, Ride.
Which my song has to do with San Francisco.
So does mine.
That's right. Ride, Captain, Ride. Is it?
Yeah. Anyway, okay. So, top 3 favorite Bay Area, specifically San Francisco Bay Area beers. Take it away, Mr. Samurai.
2 of them are Meritzens, actually, on this trip, because the Oktoberfests are out right now.
Are they?
There's 4 here because I don't want to have 2 of the 3 be from one brewery. But the Meritzen that I have from San Francisco,
I have 2 of my 3 from one brewery. So,
but the Meritzen from San Francisco Brewing was really good.
Hold that thought, folks. We decided before we started to do this list that we will not include Anchor,
right?
Because we paid homage to Anchor. We're not involving Anchor. We probably would have Anchor in one or 2 or many of these categories, but
the porter would have
definitely
been on my list because you know I love Anchor Porter.
Sure,
one of my favorite porters ever brewed.
But we left Anchor out, so it's Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area beers, not brewed by Anchor.
Yeah. So if you're watching this, going, "Where's Liberty? Where's?" No,
we left out Anchor.
We left them out
on purpose,
not to spite them.
No.
We just didn't want them dominating the list.
Right.
So the Meritzen from San Francisco is probably my honorable mention.
Okay.
My number 3 is the Meritzen from Humble Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a lot of fun there. There's some really kind of cool dogs. One little asshole dog. Well, he was actually a nice dog. His owner said he was an asshole, but he was on his best behavior that day. But he's usually an asshole. But there's these 3 older gentlemen, and they're drinking the Märzen, and they're drinking it out of liters. And it took them a long time to figure out how to order them because you do it through the QR code. And so I really love those guys for making me feel not as old as I am.
There you go.
So that was one. I've got to say, and I got to remember the name of it, because the one from scroll through here. That's what it was. Faction had a Schwartz beer.
Nice.
Called Black Hoodie Lager. This had all the roast. Now, I was talking about San Francisco Brewing. Love San Francisco Brewing. I had a Schwartz beer there, and I did talk to the brewer and talk to him about a Schwartz beer. There was not enough roast in their Schwartz beer. And John, you and I both know what's the key flavor component of a Schwartz beer.
Roast.
And the thing is, since a Schwartz beer is a lager, what that roast does is it really knocks out any flavors of lager yeast.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to taste any lager yeast. Their Schwartz beer, you could taste the lager yeast. It was that lacking in the roast. But the one from Faction Brewing, this was a straight up the roast drying your mouth out.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm drinking something, but I need a water because it's dried me out.
Dried me out. Yeah.
Yeah. This was a really good iteration of the style.
And it's called Black Hoodie Lager.
Black Hoodie, which is a cool name.
So Faction makes a Black Hoodie Lager. It's funny because Wormtown Brewing made the Hoodie Lager. Kidding. Wormtown being in Foxborough.
Oh, the hoodie.
The hoodie, yeah.
Yes, the hoodie.
I don't know if they made the hoodie. They may as well have, but the Wormtown Foxborough location is like literally at Gillette Stadium. But
I've been there. The best part was I got to that place really early. I was the only one sitting there. Started talking to the beer tenders. These girls knew their shit, so we started talking. And here's the thing: if you know what you're talking about when it comes to beer, and you're talking to a beer tender,
I'm talking about Faction now.
No, this was Wormtown.
Wormtown. Oh, okay.
No, this is Wormtown. But this goes for any brewery that you're at or any bar that you're at, brew pub, and you start talking about beer, and they know about beer, and they understand. Wow, dude knows his beer.
There you go.
They just start bringing you stuff, right?
Yeah.
I want you to try this. I want you to try this. I want you to try this. Yeah. So don't be afraid to nerd out at the brewery.
There you go.
Because it's very possible that the person who's pouring the beer for you is a beer nerd.
That is very possible.
So my number one, we mentioned it earlier in the show, and this is that rum barrel aged Imperial Porter from San Francisco. That was my favorite beer I put in my face that day. They had this Imperial Stout that they did, and I gave it a high rating on Tapped. It was interesting. It was $25 a pour, John.
Wow. That's up there.
But the thing I'll say
hold on. Was it like a 2-liter pour?
No. This was I think it was a 10-ounce pour for $25.
Yeah, I'm good.
I did it anyway. I wanted to taste this beer at all its different levels.
Oh, this is the rum barrel aged.
No. That's the port I'm talking about. I'm talking about something else that actually doesn't make the list, but I'm kind of giving it an honorable mention. The Imperial Porter, the Puggles Imperial Porter is the rum barrel aged. That's my number one beer that I had while I was there. But this Imperial Porter, it's a bourbon barrel aged Imperial. Bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stout that they had, and they had it on nitro.
Fair enough.
And I ordered the pour just because it's only money. And I wanted to taste this. He gave me a little taste. Luis gave me a little taster of it. And it was nice and warmed up, and I got something out of it. I'm like, but I want to taste this. And anybody who loves their imperial stouts knows an imperial stout is going to give you at least 2 different flavor profiles, if not 3, if not 4, as it warms up. Right?
Sure.
The cold, this thing threw nothing but cherry Twizzlers. And when I said that to Luis, he looked at me and I said, okay, I'm sorry, red vines. Because the West Coast, it's red vines.
Sure.
Because that's the Maris Otter. Maris Otter to me always throws cherry Twizzlers. So cold, you get all that cherry flavor. Warms up a little bit. Now you start to taste the bourbon. Room temperature, this thing threw cocoa and portobello mushrooms.
Interesting.
That is and so I rated this beer high only because of the journey it took me on. And I'm not butthurt over spending $25 to experience that, but that is a very wide range of experiences for one beer.
Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot.
So I wasn't that upset that I spent that much on that beer after that, but it doesn't really quite make the list because it was still kind of all over the place, a little overpriced. But that Puggles Imperial Porter, aged in the rum barrels, was the best beer I put in my face the whole trip.
Gotcha. Cool. That's awesome.
Your 3, Joan?
My 3. I'm just doing 3.
Obviously, no honorable mention, huh?
No honorable mention. Well, I haven't had, other than 3 breweries from the San Francisco area,
and one of them being Anchor. You've had 21st Amendment, which counts as a Bay Area.
21st Amendment and Almanac. So my 3 come out of those 2.
Those 2.
Yeah.
Please tell me Proby First Wine is one of them.
Let me just check one thing first. I don't think actually I've had any Humble C. But we're going to check.
Okay, John, hopefully you'll start talking soon because I've got my Tabasco Chipotle sitting next to my boat beer, and I may do something.
Would you like me to mute you?
No, I may put the Chipotle.
That was a joke.
What do you think will happen if I do this?
I don't know, but there's only one way to find out, isn't there? Give it a try. I'm just going to see.
Okay, let's see what this does.
No, I haven't had anything Humble C. Okay. So this may change when I have the lager when I get it, but at the moment, these are my 3. So my number 3.
I have a feeling it's going to change when you get that lager. Yeah. Do you remember the name of the lager, John?
I'll check in a minute. My number 3 is Almanac. From an Almanac, and it's one of the sours. It's actually the Cranberry Orange Berliner Weiss, 4.3% Berliner.
No, when I was there, I had the Cherry Supernova.
Okay. Yeah, their sours are spot on. The Cranberry Orange Berliner is my number 3. My number 2, one of my favorite winter beers, 21st Amendment Fireside Chat.
That's a great beer.
7.9% winter ale.
I love that.
Rich, dark English style ale. It's really it's so good. I love that beer every year. And my number 1, we're going back to Almanac.
Oh, fine.
And it's not a sour though. Barbary Barrel Noir. I think I've had that. That's so 10.2% Imperial Stout with chili peppers, cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, and sea salt, all wrapped up in a nice big Woodford bourbon barrel. It's a really good beer. So that's my number 1. I don't think that's changing, but I'll let you know after
I can't imagine that ever changing to be number 1. I think I've had that beer. And when I was at Almanac, Kevin was taking us around. He was showing the fooders, but he's also showing the barrels.
Nice.
And he said that they primarily partner with Woodford for theirs, but they also will do Jack every now and then and some others. We got to see some of the barrels they were aging in. You get to that area, get the Alameda Point, get the Humble Sea, Faction, get the Almanac.
Definitely.
And Admiral Maltings is right next to Almanac.
That's nice.
Right. And so a lot of the places we went, especially the one next to the Chase Center, just Harmonic. Harmonic does a lot of stuff with Admiral Malting.
Nice.
Well, I think most of their friggin' beers, they use the malts from Admiral Malting.
Well, there you go. So, all right.
I don't think he was the Admiral from USS Hornet, though.
I don't think so. Most likely not. So, all right. Cool. Good show. We got a lot, talked a lot about. Unfortunately, we did have a guest tonight.
We're not going to explain.
We won't explain why.
No.
It was an unfortunate
personal
situation.
reasons.
Personal reasons. He actually reached out to us within the last 24 hours.
Yeah.
And let us know that
we'll get Brian on again.
We'll get him on the show. But let him do what he's doing. We'll get him on the show. We'll book him on the show again. We'll get him on the show. But yeah, so kudos to him. Not kudos to him, but good luck with whatever he has to take care of.
Works through, I think. It's a good way to put it.
And then once he works through it, we'll get him on the show. But yeah, and as we do, we're not those type. We can't rush a guest in a day or less than a day. So
well, as he put it, I don't think I would be the best guest on the show tonight.
Not even him, just getting somebody else. So we do it.
But he was, he's. So we'll see. We'll talk. We'll get him on the show when he's back where he needs to be, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to talking to him. He was a good source of information when I was in Ireland.
There you go. Yes, he was going to be broadcasting live from Ireland.
So he was a good source. He helped me a lot with figuring some things out while I was there. We'll get him back on.
All right. All right. Well, we look forward to next week. We'll on that note for today.
Who's next week, John?
It's a surprise.
Okay.
2 weeks from tonight, we can say.
Yes. 2 weeks from tonight.
2 weeks from tonight is our pumpkin beer show, our annual pumpkin beer show. Dave likes it.
I refer to it as the Basic Bitch Show.
The Basic Bitch Show. There you go. But which we call it, yeah, and we'll have the brew guru himself, John Starodumsky.
The brew guru
himself, John Starodumsky, will be on that show with us. Yeah,
I like that guy. I follow that guy.
Yeah, him. He's a very, very, very big, very knowledgeable pumpkin beer aficionado. As well as any beer aficionado, to be honest with you. But he does enjoy his pumpkin.
He drinks more pumpkin beers than any human being I know.
He does. He does. And Christmas House.
He scares me a little.
He'll be back on with Tom on our holiday show this year. So
I think I need one more pumpkin for the show. Need, not want. Need.
Yeah, not want. Need.
Because anybody who knows my stance on pumpkin beers, John makes me do this show every year.
It's become a tradition, so it's almost like me busting Dave's chops now to do the show. So, but it's fun. It's a fun show. So,
and John's trying to start the tradition, and he failed on this show of telling really bad dad jokes.
No, well, this one I just kind of made. I kind of knew that one, and it was because I was telling you about something that you were swimming. So that's why I just brought that one out. I didn't actually do any dad jokes on the show.
No, and I get it. Bad dad jokes is redundant.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just empty dad jokes. It's done. Anyway, on that note, we will wrap the show up for today. I want to thank everybody for watching, and for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us.
Actually kind of works in this.
Does it? Please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with a video podcast on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, which is now X, and Twitch. and Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time or so. And if you want to,
it's just a letter of the alphabet.
That's pretty much it. And for those of you that just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our brand new podcast host, Spreaker, as well as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher. Yes, Stitcher. They're still on.
What?
Yep. Google
They
Podcasts.
came back.
They never went off. Google Podcasts. Amazon.
Those liars.
Google Podcasts. Amazon.
Wait a second.
Podcasts.
Were they one of those shows are like, we're going out of business?
I don't know what they would have gained out of that.
Big sales. How? I understand those businesses get those. That's okay. Sorry.
Well, anyway, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, iHeartRadio, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser. Pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast, you can find the Locker Room Guys podcast. So, and if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
They found him face down in his waffles, maple syrup dripping from his fake rug. Who did he see when he heard who was there? Now it seems that he shit out of luck. This little penny went to market. This little piggy stayed home. This little piggy's eating corned beef in the back of a Ford Pinto. You better run, you better go, 'cause you're messing with a big toe. You better run, you better go, 'cause you're messing with a big toe,